Hey, what do you say? It's me, Mr. Otter, Mr. Otter Comics here. Mr. Otter, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Today's episode of Odd Art Comics is sponsored by Nick Tahoe's, home of the greatest garbage plates in Rochester, New York. Hungry? Why don't you go over to Nick Tahoe's today and grab yourself a garbage plate? If you live in the Middle East, you might not have that. You might be eating goat brains or falafels. But if you ever find yourself in New York again, be sure to stop by Nick Tahoe's and get yourself one of the greatest delicacies that you can find in America, and only in America. On today's episode of Stupid Man, yeah, your boy Biden, he's doing the president thing where, they try to pretend that they're fighting for truth, justice, and bullcrap. You can go to the freaking any website that's not reporting, fake news, and you can read about, the latest stupid TV shows or the latest stupid movies for you all to go flock back to, or, you've got nothing better to do because you just have so much money and you have to start spending it again. You got vaccinated so you can go back to normal life, right? Or what we consider normal. But over in Palestine, the police, funded by the Biden administration, are currently harassing lots of Palestinians. You see, Israel police are they're kind of, this is what coups do. This is what United States coups do. Since we're like over in the Middle East, we feel like that we should have some kind of like control over them, but we don't. But it's the United States of America. We don't actually, do the things that we hold by, because we're hypocrites, we're liars, we're corrupt, we believe in a white male patriarchy. But they won't say that to your face. They'll stay silent about it. But basically, right now, over 200. Who knows? Someone may have died. Nothing's ever reported accurately. I can't really say that this is 100% verified, but we have pictures and video right now from Palestinian citizens. Currently, this is the only way you can really be you can even cover this stuff, is by people, which is like insane. People shouldn't be putting their lives on the line, their cell phones on the line for, to report freaking stuff like this. Like, you shouldn't have to be in the situation where you're the only like solution to like showcasing like torture and suffering. It shouldn't be your job. People should just be like naturally good to each other. That's how life should be. But because we have a classist society all over the world, these people who have so much money believe that other people should either like be as rich as them or basically die. Rich people want to like evict all these poor Palestinians out of their homes because they don't know what to do with them, basically. So it's like they have this mentality that they could just like easily terrify them. This is what they do. These police paid for by the Biden administration are terrifying Palestinians, shooting rubber bullets at them. 200 plus Palestinians were wounded on Friday night when Israel police fired rubber bullets at the church. They went to a church, basically. It's a mosque. It's what churches are, basically. And police shot at people. Police shot at people praying. I know if you're like a fucking atheist, you don't give a shit about religion, but the fact people are getting shot for just existing isn't right. I know that like religion's stupid, but the same people that are like worshiping religion and shit are oppressing other people worshiping religion. Palestinians are people of peace, but Israeli police are people of war and torture and killing. This is how people are like driven to fucking terrorism too. This is how you create extremists, religious extremists, all around. It's a loop, and it's a loop that's funded by people like President Biden and President Obama, any of the presidents. It doesn't even matter if it's a Democrat or a freaking Republican. Everything is funded by the United States to the point where this chaos happens. It's all our fault. And it's a loop. It's a fucking, what? You nerds call it like a gameplay loop for your stupid ass video games? This is a fucking real life loop. Fucking police go, they terrorize people, these people don't know what to do, and either they become extremists and fight back or they fucking die, basically. And this has been going on for years, and it really, I don't know, it's silly to say that this needs to stop, because that sounds like I'm like a fucking adult and like what I say happens, like, you should stop terrorizing people. I can't do shit. I can talk about it. I can try to inform people about it. But people usually don't give a shit because people are fucking, they'd rather ignore this. They'd rather ignore that none of this happens and that the world is just perfect. Everything can open up. Everyone can go back to their sad ass little fake ass jobs, and they can pretend that people aren't getting fucking oppressed by police all over the world. What else is here? But we have to talk about fucking fat ass pedophile YouTubers who get banned, but they get to still have their own fucking platform apparently in the fucked up United States. Israel settlers are trying to evict Palestinian families in occupied East Jerusalem. The UN says that may be a war crime. It is a war crime. Damn. It's a war crime over here too when people are getting evicted from their houses. Since we all have 50 states and we live in a fucked up society where everything's gerrymandered and, you know, politicians get to have their own way in every fucking state. That's one of the biggest like issues with like how politics works over here in the United States. Everything's so confusing that if you're not in like a place like me, if you're not in like kind of a left-leaning place, I guess, I like to think I'm in a blue county. So mostly everyone's Democrat, but that doesn't mean shit sometimes, most of the time. But like, if I was in a different part of Florida, like fucking Miami, I'd probably be dead by now. Probably fucking shot at a Einstein Bagels or something. But I digress. I'm trying to talk about basically just like, if people are evicted over here during the time of the pandemic, and because the CDC has rules intact, you can't get evicted. If you've been evicted from your home, that's a crime. Like if you're forced out of your home by like police and shit, that's a fucking war crime basically. And this is here. This isn't fucking the Middle East, but it's 10 billion times worse. Because like they give less a shit about people over here than they do here. You know, because you know we have more fucking, we have people armed to the fucking their own little armies over here. Can't talk about how much my fucking Florida friends have like so many guns. I don't have anything because I'm a fucking pussy. I can't have a gun. But you know, the way we live over here, it's much different. We kind of have to, I don't know, it's hard to say how Americans live, but we don't have, the police aren't fucking, I mean, they're shooting us, but they're not like shooting us at churches or mosques. Fucking far-right people and extremists are shooting people at mosques over here. Far-right people are going inside churches and shooting black people in churches over here. That's all war crimes too, but no one's gonna really fucking say anything because people like to ignore like the violence and like crimes that go on here. what was that motherfucker's name? Dylan Roof, the mass shooter who shot all the fucking black people in the church. And it's like they want you to forget this shit. They want you to just think that this doesn't happen. And like go on to the next day and think like, oh, you can go watch your fucking Netflix shows about all this shit and not fucking have to worry about anything else. Oh, there's another mass shooting. Oh, there's another fucking school shooting. Oh, there's another fucking shooting. Don't worry about it. You're okay. Go back to work. Go get paid $7.25 an hour to fucking get spat on by fucking rich people demanding you make their goddamn Big Mac. Yeah, that sounds like a fucking fun time. Gentrified. Gentrified is basically what's happening here. And I was trying to think of the word, what this is going on. This is gentrification. This is what rich people do to get poor people out of the fucking world, basically. They call the cops. They pay the cops. The cops go and fucking... Well, here they're shooting fucking rubber bullets at over 200 plus... Somebody lost an eye. That's... No one's dead, I think. But, like, still, it's just... It's fucking nuts. But this happens all over the fucking world. It's different everywhere. But in the Middle East, it's just so, like... Muslims just aren't... Muslims aren't treated well at all. It's worse than you might think it is. You might watch on TV. You might have like a Muslim friend. You might not think of them much, but like, it's really bad over there. It's like how religion's treated over here. It's almost like a fucking hobby. People actually go through fucking tooth and nail to like respect and like honor their religion in other countries. Over here, we are fucking owned by capitalism. We fucking use everything to where we have to like profit. We have to profit off it. That's why we have these like rock churches, all these big ass overblown super churches, because they're fucking insane, full of products and bullshit. But that's how we have taken fucking religion and we've tried to make money off it, which is completely against the Bible. I've fucking read the Bible more than you probably have. I had to go to fucking church every goddamn Sunday when I was a goddamn kid. And I bet I know more. And I know for a fact that having super churches is probably one of the most anti-religious things that you could possibly do. But because you make so much money off people's ignorant fucking ways of like living, you know, people only go to church because they feel good. They don't actually give a shit about like other people or trying to be good people. If they did, they would do something about like the fucking police. They would do something about people killing and harassing people who can't defend themselves. You can't shoot back at a cop. You can't fight a cop. They'll just kill you. So it's like all you can do is let them bully you. It's a fucked up system everywhere. And I just wanted to take this last kind of 16 minutes. It's kind of a long video, but this is like... This is someone else's channel. Again. Sorry I have to do this, but I'm sure you can see their name. I can't see it because I'm blind and it's kind of small. I can kind of look. Connie Corey? Gil Chester? Chester? I can't tell. My eyes suck. Corey Gil Chester. Anyway. Let's go. This basically went out. Asked actual Palestinians.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you say you understand Islam? يعني من 0 ل 10 قديش انت بتعتقد انك انت فاهم الاسلام؟ 10 فاهمه كثير، 0 ولا شيء.
بس 0 و10 فيش خيارات؟
لا من 0 ل 10.
اقدر اقول لك 6.
He could say 6. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you say you hate Israel?
The same. 5.
5 you hate Israel. Okay. انت بتعرف عن الاسلام
شو يعني الله؟
يعني من 1 ل 10 قديش تتوقع انت بتعرف عن الاسلام؟
ما هو شو السؤال؟
شو بتعرف عن الاسلام؟ قديش انت فاهم الاسلام مزبوط؟ من 1 ل 10 يعني 1 0 مثلا مش فاهم ولا شيء، 10 فاهم 100%.
الإسلام إسلام دين الرحمة والتسامح، وهذا دين يعني شامل لكل الديانات السماوية، لأن آخر الدين أجل.
لا مش شو بتعرف، قديش انت من 0 ل 10 بتتوقع انك كشخص بتعرف عن الاسلام؟ يعني 0 ما بتعرف ولا شيء، 1 2 3 4 5
بنصلي بنصوم، علينا حج عمره.
يعني قديش تقريبا من الاسلام انت بتعرف؟
التطبيق يعني؟ التطبيق بتقدر تقول يعني بجوز 50%. ليش؟ لان احنا العمره والحج هي بتكمل الباقي.
He knows the major things about the Islam and like going to Hajj as pilgrims, we pray, we fast, doing something like this.
وفي الزكاة إذا صار الواحد مع أموال.
And also the things of the money that you should pay for the poor people to help the others, another thing in Islam. But what he applies قديش أنت يعني
50 يعني 50.
What he applies is
لأن هذاك الساعة ما جاش دوره.
يعني 50% of
بيجي دوره هذاك مراحل يعني فهمت؟ بتطبق هذاك.
Okay.
He would apply it like
حج عمرة زكاة بتطبق
like
فيما بعد.
you need time but he knows.
أما الصلاة الصيام
That's what we want to know.
تقريبا قديش نسبة بالمية بتعرف تتوقع as a percentage?
ما قلت لك 50%.
50.
Okay, so 5. And then the second part, how much does he, on 1 to 10, how much does he hate Israelis?
اوكي قديش انت من 0 ل 10 بتكره الاسرائيليين؟
أنا ما بكرهش حد، بقول لك هذا الدين للجميع.
He doesn't hate anyone.
دين تسامح.
قديش
يعني
انت بتكره الاسرائيليين من 0 ل 10؟ 10 مثلا تكرههم كثير. 9
أنا في لي أصدقاء اشتغلت غاد.
He has friends and he has
في لي
some
أصدقاء.
people who work with. He has friends.
وإحنا بنتأمل إنه يصير سلام.
And he would love to have peace. من الإسلام.
I'll say this from what I think, assume, I guess, this educated guess, is that he's an older gentleman. He has a job, probably. He has to make peace with Israelis, but it's all different across the plane. It's not all just going to be like, this is just different people, so, yeah. We might watch the whole video. Let's see how it goes, because I'm kind of curious at, like, how many different people they ask. Because I scrubbed through this video earlier, but I'm going to try to just see.
الإسلام قديش فاهم الإسلام من 0 ل 10؟
منيح
يعني
تقريبا 8.
like 8. من 0 ل 10 قديش أنت بتكره الإسرائيل؟
10 كلها.
The whole 10. جيت قلت لك من 0 ل 10 قديش أنت بتستوعب الإسلام؟ 10 أنت يعني كتير مستوعبه وفاهمه وحافظه، وصفر ولا إشي. من 0 ل 10 قديش بتقيم حالك في الإسلام؟
يعني 6 5.
5 6. اوكي كمان سؤال. من 0 another question. The other part. من 0 ل 10 قديش بتكره اليهود؟ 0 ما بتكرههم، 10 بتكرههم. 10. سوري بس مش اليهود، الإسرائيليين أنا كان قصدي.
هو شوف هذا السؤال انت اللي بدك تسالني فيه. في ناس من اليهود بحبوا يتعايشوا بسلميه مع
There is some people from the Jewish من اليهود ولا من الإسرائيليين؟
من نفس الاسرائيليين.
From the Israelis or the Jewish. Doesn't matter a lot, but there is some peaceful of them.
فيش معهم يعني معانا لهم مشكله، يعني عادي عندهم ان نعيش مع بعض.
They don't matter to live with us Palestinian peacefully.
بس في يهود
But there is at the same time also an Israelis and Jewish who wants to fight.
بدهم يعني بحبوش عنصريه لحالهم.
Racist. They want to live by themselves. They don't like to be peace with the others.
بيكرهوا السلام.
They hate the peace.
متشتتين يعني متمسكين في الديانه تبعتهم.
And they so treated to their religion and close to it.
وطلعوا مقولة إنه اقتل إسرائيلي واحصل على دولار.
إيه؟
اقتل إسرائيلي وادع اقتل يا فلسطيني وادفع دولار. يعني إنه إحنا ولا إشي. يعني لسه إحنا
and there is like a famous says in Israel says kill a Palestinian and pay $1.
If you kill a Palestinian, you get $1?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, where did he hear this?
وين سمعت هاي المقولة؟
سمعتها أول شيء أبوي عمامي كل واحد تقعد معاه يعني
everyone knows it.
بتذكروا الماضي بيحكوا عنها إنه أيام الحرب كانت
everyone knows it.
طلعت
Like
فترة
the old men of Palestine they used to know it during the war times, which was the first Intifada and the second.
All right. So basically, if you want to watch the rest of this, it's going to give you like insight between like lots of different Palestinians about what they think about Israel. And I think it's good to educate yourself about other people's issues across the world. You can't just isolate yourself away from the world and not think that stuff like this affects everybody. I hate sounding like a dad or a parent on this channel, but no one else is like saying anything. And I understand it. This stuff is scary. This stuff is like insane. But these are like, this is what the world is. The world is owned by a patriarchal, religious, extremist, insane upper class that wants to silence you. They don't want peace. They want... This is what Biden wants. This is what the Democrats want. This is what the fucking Republicans want. This is your United States. You could always talk about how there's two sides and all that stuff, but it's all still just evil, basically. This is just, the United States is evil. That's why you hear Middle Eastern people say death to America. This is why people attacked us on September 11th. Because this stuff was going, all this kind of stuff is always going on. The United States terrorizes the world, but we don't see it like that. Because what? What's the saying? Shit. I thought I had something smart to say, but I don't, because I'm an idiot. But I can tell you that the United States has never been a positive influence in the last decade. My dad's a vet, and he only has one eye, and he's like manic depressed. And it just, it's like, I have my whole family is like, they've been through the military and all that. And it's like, I don't like the military. I don't like the United States does. I resent coming from a military family, and I feel like I have to say something, because it's like, I've lived a life of freedom all my life. I was born on an Air Force base in Arkansas. And from there, I just kind of traveled the world. I always had like the privilege of like going to new places and just seeing shit. But I've never been to the Middle East. I've never had to learn much about the Middle East until like, you know, it almost seems like you're forced to have to learn about this stuff growing up. And either you ignore it or you just have to acknowledge it. And I just have to acknowledge it. So, sorry if like real world stuff turns you off. I've had friends who fucking don't talk to me anymore. And basically, you know, I become just a fucking, I guess I'm just a scary person. Just to have to talk about like real life stuff. Because it's like, I can't say, I don't know what else to really do. I don't like people like fucking suffering. Especially for just trying to exist. And that's like, it's insane. But, yeah. This is going on right now. It's been going on for a long time. So much shit goes on, but yeah. This is the United States.